What's happening, Hardscapers? This is episode 177 of the How to Hardscape podcast, where we talk about how you can start and grow your hardscaping business. And on today's episode, we're continuing our theme of the mashups, the I Am a Hardscaper mashups, where we take segments of specific questions we ask contractors on the I Am a Hardscaper series, where we dissect their business and interview business owners. And then we take a specific question and just mash it all up. Every single person that we've had on the show in 2022, their answer to a specific question in this mash up series. And I hope that just made sense. But also, if you need bookkeeping, accounting, or CFO services, check out Cycle CPA. They're available at cyclecpa.com. Mention How to Hardscape and get $200 off their services there. And we'll talk more about them later in today's episode. So this is an I Am a Hardscaper mash-up episode. In this specific mashup episode, we ask our guests, what do you charge for consultations, or do you charge for consultations? Yes or no, and why or why not? A fairly simple question to ask, but we get a wide variety of answers from yes, they do charge, no, they do not charge, or yes, they do charge, but they give that money to charity and they let the clients know beforehand that that's what they do with the money they collect from this. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to our guests. They will introduce themselves and then give their response to this question. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode.
I'm Cruz Loan. I own basically two businesses, Chicago Brick Paving and Chicago Outdoor Designs. No, I don't charge. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about don't charge like $250 per estimate or things like that. But since I don't do, like I said, we only did 12 jobs. So from those 12 jobs, I got maybe 7 jobs from this designer that I do work for. So I'm not really driving around all the time getting all these estimates. So it's like I just talk to them over the phone. If I'm interested, I go see them. And like I said, most of the times, or I'm getting the job because it's a referral or it's a repeating customer. So.
I'm Jeffrey Schmidt of Down to Earth Landscaping.
And I'm Chuck Gillum of Down to Earth Landscaping. Yeah, this is something that we just kind of started doing over the last year and a half. We are charging for consultations. After we get a lead, we'll set up a discovery call, go through that whole process, and then kind of determine our next steps. So from there, if someone is looking for a full remodel, a full backyard rehaul, then the next step will be a design consultation. And that is including the design fees. We get them set up with the appropriate designer who's going to be the best fit for the style that they're looking for. Or, if they're kind of just looking, hey, I've got a beautiful backyard, but I just need a patio and a retaining wall. Then we'll go out and do a consultation. And sometimes from there, they determine, we need a design in place. It'd be good to visualize this whole concept. So then we'll kind of move into the design phase part of things. But yeah, we charge for a consultation fee, and like a lot of people, we provide a lot of value being in this industry for as long as we have, having the knowledge that we have. That hour that we can spend at someone's property going through their project, talking about materials, talking about functionality. There's a lot of what's that?
Grades, things that they don't think about.
Yep.
That other contractors might not think about. Like just all the nuances of the business. We cover it all before, that's all part of the consultation. And that's what Chuck is trying to explain. Like he covers all of those things when he sees a customer on a site visit.
Yeah, there's so much that we can provide to them. We try to give them as much information that they need if they were to install the project themselves. If nothing else, go to the next contractor and be like, hey, these guys said that we should do this because of your layout, whatever. At least gives them an idea of what they can and cannot do based off of their ideas. And functionality is so key. Some people might want just a big old yard for their kids to play on, but they might not have very good, they might not be able to see what's going on. So making sure that there are areas where they can visualize everything, where they can hang out, where they can really have an experience outside.
Hi, I'm Mike Barker with Elevate Outdoor Living. And I know one thing that I think you ask a few people is, do we charge for consultations? And we do. And that has been one thing that we adopted that has really helped us with kind of weeding some people out. We've got a pretty extensive phone consultation before we even go out. So we really just want to make sure that we're checking all the boxes. We're finding out the motive behind why they're wanting to do this project, and really deep down into the psychological aspect of why they're calling us or why they're getting a hold of us, right? Because really it's an investment to do some of these projects. It's not a lawn mowing. They're investing a significant amount of money and time, and they're putting a lot of trust in us to steer them in the right direction and do the right thing. So we have them check a lot of boxes and jump a lot of hoops. And one thing is, I'm really big on, we don't go out on site unless we talk money, and I try and give them some sort of idea of how much their project is going to cost. And to touch back on the site consultation, it started at $50, and I was nervous at just even charging $50 to go out and look. And this year I raised it up to $250, and it's because when we go on site, I just tell the homeowner, you're going to leave with more knowledge than when I came there. I'm going to give you everything I got for 1 hour. I'm going to give you all the design and everything that you need. So even if you don't go with us, you can take that knowledge and apply it to your project.
Hi, I'm Jeremy from Will Gates Landscaping. I think a lot of people are moving towards a paid consultation format. To date, we have not done that. The initial consultation has been free, especially in today's market. We are reconsidering that. We do have a retainer fee to start any kind of design work. If you want an exact quote from me, Mrs. Smith, I'm sorry. The only way we can do that is by doing a full-on proposal, which means a 2D CAD design. I can't give you anything more than telling you it's going to be 20 or 30 or 40 or 60,000. I have to do a design to give you an exact number. Otherwise, I'm just guessing. So they have a choice there, and that consultation, again, the consultation to date has been free. And I had them a form, retainer fee. It's called a retainer agreement. It spells out the fees there, what I provide for those fees, and what their options are when we meet again.
Hi, I'm E.T. Leger from Montreal, Quebec. I am the owner and operator of Leger Landscapes. We do charge occasionally a consultation fee if it's really far out of our zone, or if the client's really being picky, or if the lead is being very picky or kind of rude. The office team knows how to handle that and just says, we obviously value respect. And if they can't give us respect, well, either you pay and we'll show up, give you a quote, or you prepay actually by credit card, or we're just, we'll refer you to someone. We try to keep positive, and ultimately we're not going to fit for everyone. And we try to present ourselves in the best possible light, but we have to still respect our own time, respect our team's time, because ultimately they have to put bread on the table, and we can't do that if we just follow every single lead, unfortunately.
You mentioned free consultation, free proposal. Why? What is your mindset around doing that for free as opposed to charging for a consultation, unless it's far away?
That's the reason. We are working with a market that people don't understand quite the value of what they're getting in terms of the cost. Like, they think our biggest price objection to hiring us is price. People will say you're too expensive. How much can it cost to get rid of a few weeds? But they don't realize, when you're doing a project, change the entire sand. It's 2 visits. It's high quality polymer sands that we use. These are all things that come into play when we're doing a project. It's not just people have a vision of like going with a knife, pulling a few weeds and putting some sand, and it's like the vision they have, or they had their brother-in-law come over and sweep a few bags of sand and wet it, and they called it done. We're offering them, a full service, a guaranteed service that'll extend up to 10 years, on their project, and we want people to know that we want them to know kind of a range of what we're doing. We try to give them a range before we come of what it's going to cost based on similar projects. But we find that the stepping to charge for a consult at this point, people are just not really going to bite. They're like, they're already going to be a bit shocked by the price to begin with. So we want to really push value, and really in our follow-up emails and our lead emails, how we present ourselves to really put ourselves in the best possible foot forward. So overall, I think we have a pretty good closing rate on that. So I'm not quite worried about that. If things were to majorly change, might have to rethink.
I just want to take a break from today's episode to talk about our sponsor, Cycle CPA. You may have a CRM or project management software in place, but what data are you using to ensure your estimating is accurate? Having a proper accounting setup and accurate bookkeeping done is key to understanding overhead expenses and other costs that must be recouped in your estimates. Cycle CPA is a remote bookkeeping and CFO firm that helps to connect the dots from the financial reports to the hardscape and landscape data needed in order to reach high profits. They provide landscape and hardscape industry benchmarking, job costing, financials by service line, advisory meetings, and much more. Cycle CPA's team of accountants are specialized within the hardscape and landscape industry, and you can visit them at cyclecpa.com, and for $200 off, mention the How to Hardscape podcast. Now back to our episode.
My name is Ken Deemer. I am one of the managing partners at Local Roots Landscaping.
My name is Patrick Murray, and I'm one of the managing partners at Local Roots Landscaping.
And then in terms of qualifying leads, we started last year. It was a really scary thing to do, or 2 years ago, I suppose, charging for appointments. And that's aside from the rest of the pre-qualification work that we have our team do. So our sales manager is pre-qualifying almost every lead that comes in anymore. But that is after they pay for an appointment. And the number of people that we'll have people call our office, but we kind of try to hide our office number because we really want to push everyone through the filter of our website. So whenever they go to schedule an appointment, it will ask them if they want to see what their project costs. So we had a project cost calculator built in to our website by our web developers, which has been super fantastic. We push people through that. They get to build a couple things, and a lot of people get the sticker shock and just leave straight away, which is leaving us with a lot more qualified leads. And then the number of people who call our office just saying, like, wait, like, I can't see anyone if I don't pay. Like, and they get so mad. They're like, so you're just not going to come out to my house and talk to me. It's like, no, like our time is valuable. Our people's time is valuable. So it's one of the people who takes the calls in the office has said before, it's like, I feel so bad. I feel like this, can we just go out there and maybe do it? And what I always tell them is like, no, like they are telling you who they are as a person. They're telling us they don't value our line of work. They're telling us they don't value what we do or our time or anything like that. And if they're already this upset about the fact that they're getting charged $50 to $100 for an appointment, like just wait until we get on their property to actually do the work. Like this mentality is going to be magnified and carried over tenfold. So both in terms of quality of lead from a close ratio standpoint, in terms of quality of client and for that our firm is working with, that our team gets to interact with, those have both kind of gone through the roof since we started taking that very seriously.
Hi, I'm Chris Morales, and I'm the owner-operator of Morales Outdoor Living. So I charge a consultation fee because you're able to, I guess, weed out, screen the customers that are just shopping around. And honestly, it takes several hours of your time to get these consults out. You know, you're driving there, you're spending an hour or two there with the customer, getting measurements, you know, to get back home and, you know, type up a formal proposal. And, this is several hours that it takes. So it's the least that you should do for yourself as a business owner and get paid for your time.
Hi, I'm Greg Burnett, 38 years old from Vineland, Ontario. I'm the president of Niagara Outdoor Landscaping. Yeah, so it's been a topic of discussion this winter there. I see, a number of people doing it. I think it's a kind of a new and upcoming thing, but we don't charge for the consultation now. But a lot of people doing this, $100 fee, and maybe it's going back to a charity or something like that. I can definitely see us kind of implementing that soon. We do charge for all our landscape designs, so we're not doing a project without a landscape design. We just kind of implemented that we're doing 3D designs as part of that too, right? So again, it's you're putting that work out there, you're doing that work, 3D design. You've already done all the hard stuff. You're just kind of bringing it to life and making it look pretty, and it helps them understand, hey, that deck that I'm going to spend $20,000, that's what it looks like, or whatever it may be, right? So it's been a good tool to add that 3D stuff, and it's working out.
So before you go out and actually meet with a client for that consultation, which is taking up your time, what questions are you asking them on the phone to make sure that this might be the ideal client for you. Like, besides what your contact form asks, what are you asking them on the phone to, make sure that this is a client that you want to give a little bit of your time to for that initial consultation?
Yeah, I think you're trying to understand how they want to utilize their space, their vision, their wants and needs. I guess understanding their style and their taste, right? To see, is it super modern, a little more contemporary, and yeah, obviously their budget. It's an important question. We aren't going to design a yard that's not realistic to the money they plan to spend, and we want to respect their budget and kind of work around it. I guess sometimes it's not within it, but yeah, around it, right? So. And then I guess importantly now is the timeline, right? As we are now telling new leads, we can't get to them jobs until 2023 at this point, right? So it's sometimes when are you willing to get the work done? Because that's when we can do it, right? So
hey, I'm Nick from NRX Landscaping.
And I'm Rocco from NRX Landscaping.
Okay, it depends. So if it's a referral based from somebody whose project we close and they kind of know all about us, we're not going to charge. If it's somebody that's calling that wants a million different quotes and trying to pick out the cheapest one, so what we'll do is we'll charge a consultation fee, and then we're going to use that as a deposit if to go ahead with us in the project.
Yeah. I would say, sorry, you want to go ahead?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say initially, for the first, however so many years, we wouldn't charge anything. Our main goal was to see as many people as possible and create, brand awareness. We wanted our logos everywhere. We wanted our signs everywhere. We wanted to see as many faces as possible. So we wouldn't charge. That was during the process where we needed to get our name out there. So no, we were more than happy to eat all the costs for gas, traveling around, just so we can meet as many people as possible. And now that we're more established, we find that we get, people using our quotes against other companies, or people using other quotes against us. They're just like, it kind of puts contractors against each other, like, oh, okay, it's like a bidding war, and people want a bidding war for their driveway extension. You know what I mean? Yeah, and we kind of want to eliminate that, and we found the best way to eliminate those kinds of situations are to charge for an estimate.
It's not an estimate; it's a consultation.
Yeah, consultation.
Hi, my name is Landon. I own Planet Green Landscapes with my partner Tom. I do not charge for the consultation. A couple of reasons. Number one, if I charge for that consultation, I feel like you really need to leave those people with something. Like they have to feel like they got value out of that consultation. Secondly, I don't really think there's an amount of money that's worth going to see the wrong client. And I mean that, like, I would much rather focus my energy on just going and meeting with the right people than spending an hour meeting with people that we're not ultimately going to work for. So if we can't determine early on, like through the email and everything else, that it's definitely not. If they're out of our geographical area, if it's something we can't do, those people, you politely tell them, hey, this isn't a good fit for these reasons, or try to refer them to somebody. But beyond that, I guess someone reaches out, I feel like it's a bit of a privilege when someone's actually interested in working with you. So I err on the side of, at least just go meet with them, hear them out. And I prefer to do that without any fee. A lot of times, like, I'm not sitting there telling them, you have to put this here, you have to put there. I don't think I'm some, guru that should be paid by the hour to, point and tell them where things should happen. So I like to just use that opportunity just to, hey, thanks a lot for being interested in working with us. Here's what I see. They tell me what they're looking at doing, take a bunch of notes, and then if they go into the design phase, then that's where we absolutely start charging. So
I am Aaron Colley with Spaces Design Build. Then let's set up that consultation, which right now is $50. I'm thinking about raising it. I wanted to keep people honest. I was spending a lot of time chasing people that weren't going to do anything. Part of that is just not knowing how to run a Facebook ad, which I have a better handle on now, but also just something Matt Daly with Water and Earth told me. He's in town here, and so we chat every once in a while. He said something to the extent, I don't remember the exact quote, but I'll be close. There's no commitment to you or no as a contractor until there's a financial investment. So even though it's only $50, $100, $200, whatever it is, whatever you can get, that gives a commitment. So I just wanted to keep people serious. I was tired of running around. And then also my mindset changed. Now I started thinking, you know what? We bring value. We know things. We got experience, and people need to value, and that time is valuable, and that experience is worth money. We've seen things, we know things, and I don't think we should just be going around for free.
This is Nick Cardillo with the Yard Fathers Premier Outdoor Living, and we also charge for our consultations. It's kind of the last screening process for me.
Yeah.
For me, I'm still administratively a one-man show. For the most part, I have third parties do stuff. So it's a lot of time to do leads and to spend the time that you need with the clients that you want to work with. So just the initial investment from them to know that they're serious. Typically our success rate is a lot higher than it used to be without that consultation form. And we're spending a lot less time where we could be doing other stuff.
Hi, my name is Antonio Zeppa. I'm with Zeppa's. Yeah, so we have two different things here. We have a consultation fee. That would be more like just talking about ideas. And then we have a design fee. So we would ask a new customer to pay 100% in full of the design fee before we even start the process. Our designer uses a tablet. He uses a tablet and he does hand drawing, similar to like Matt Heiner stuff. And I think his gets maybe thrown in Dynascape or something like that, but very similar to that, except rather than ours going into Dynascape, he's hand drawing it. And then we've got an assistant that renders it in SketchUp, or draws it in SketchUp and then renders it in Lumion. And so we would ask our client to pay in full when they call, and we would try and give them enough data to support, what we're trying to charge. And then he would go on the initial call, he'd meet them, he would talk with them, and then he'd go back to the drawing board. And then a few weeks later, we would present through Zoom. So we started that during the pandemic, and it actually worked really well. We're probably never going to go back on that.
Why charge for the consultation fee?
We just realized like the demand was very high.
Yeah.
We do that even for our maintenance service. We're the only one in our town that I know that charges a consultation fee.
Gotcha.
I know a lot of people in our industry have started charging for consultation fees, some of these groups, mastermind groups and different things like that have helped elevate, what people are good at and stuff like that. And I know that there's a lot of people charging consultation fees now. But basically it helps to get rid of the tire kickers.
Yeah.
And then we donate 100% of it. So we don't keep any of our consultation fee.
Do you let the client know that like up front?
Yeah.
We charge a consultation fee. It's going to be donated?
Yeah, we donate it to Blessings and Backpack. So
gotcha.
We have a whole video, and we push people to watch this video and stuff like that. At the end of the day, we're the only ones that charge a consultation fee. And if they're going to be upset about, like, they hear that we donate it to a nonprofit, they don't get that upset. They either go with us or they don't.
Yeah.
But
that's an awesome idea. I really like that idea for sure.
Anybody that does that stole it from us. So it's just a nice way to blend it, really. If I would highly recommend it. If somebody's in a market where they feel like they just can't keep up with the leads, it's the easy way to like slow down the leads and put your money where your mouth is. If you're serious, then pay a fee. We don't keep it anyway. And we've been able to donate thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, to the community, which is great.
That's awesome.
So we've been with Blessings and Backpack for 3 years, I think. And this year we're going to change it to a new organization.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. You can go back and listen to each of these guests' single I Am a Hardscaper interviews. Some of them have even been on I Am a Hardscaper roundtables. So lots to take away from 177 episodes now of the How to Hardscape podcast. We're likely approaching 100 hours of content with that. So you got lots to choose from when it comes to episodes that you want to binge for this podcast. And we appreciate you listening in every Monday and to listen back to episodes that you found interesting, fascinating, or whatever it might be. And if you enjoy these mashup interviews, I'd love to hear from you if you do enjoy them, or if you have questions that you want to hear me asking future guests on the I Am a Hardscaper series, or even questions that you're even sick of me asking again and again to kind of change things up here. You could reach out to me at How to Hardscape on Instagram. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. And if you need bookkeeping, accounting, or CFO services, reach out to Cycle CPA there, cycle_CPA on Instagram. They provide great educational content on their Instagram page, so they're definitely worth a follow, as well as check their services out at cyclecpa.com. Mention the How to Hardscape podcast, get $200 off their services there. And we look forward to meeting with you next week on the How to Hardscape podcast.